Well, it's the end of the month, so we are releasing a brand new collection from hot off the press, Orchid Melody. This is gorgeous, and you can do so many things with it. And Debbie has created lots of projects for you and some very interesting items. So won't you please come play with us? Well, before we get into the projects, let me just show you what is here. So I'm going to scoot some of these things to the side so we can focus on one thing at a time. And we'll start with the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. There are 12 sheets, and on the back of the package there will be a scrapbook page and a card. I'll show you the scrapbook page in a minute because I don't want our scrapbookers to feel left out in any way, shape, or form. But let me show you what each of these papers looks like. So here's the first one, as you can see. And as you know, speaking of scrapbookers, they're certainly going to put their photographs here and do their journaling and so forth. If you're a card maker or you make junk journals or anything like that, you're going to think of these in terms of 4 separate segments. And you can see that they're going to be beautiful together. So this is the front side. This is the back side. So it has that really pretty pink and green kind of all over pattern. Here is the next one in greens, obviously. And same deal. Pages and doing cards or other things. And on the back we have this really pretty, it's kind of an ombre with the lighter going to dark and this beautiful gold edging at the top and the bottom. Then we have a purple sheet. It's got orchids everywhere because when orchids grow, they grow abundantly. And then on the back side we also have a purple, kind of a smudged look. Then we go into blue, so we're hitting all the colors, and same thing as you can see. And on the back of this, there has some ghosted back images on the opposite corners, and then this textured in the middle. Here are our large cutouts and 2 borders, as you can see, and these are designed so that you can add things in the middle, and Debbie has done some things using them, and just works really, really well. You can add the die cuts, the chipboard, the cutting dies. You can just do a lot of different things with them. On the back there is this very rich green look. And then we also have the cutouts. Now these are have the greetings. Most of them do. All of them have the art that's going to coordinate perfectly, but some of them just have the art so you can layer them, you can do whatever you like. And on the back side we have a blue. Now all of these you're going to get 2 of each, and in total you will have 52 cutouts in this package. So that's way to go. That's going to work nicely. And as I promised, scrapbookers, here you are. Here is the page that Debbie made, and you can see she used that first sheet, and she has double matted her photo on one of the patterns as well as the solid. There's No Friend Like You, that's one of the cutouts, and she has triple matted that. And then she used the cutting dies here to add more of the leaves and the ferns. And then this is a die cut that she has printed on it, computer journal on it for Hawaii. So orchids, you don't have to go to Hawaii to use this set, but boy, it's sure nice, isn't it? Okay, now the card looks like this. So again, it's got one of the cutouts and it has some of the other elements that I'm going to be showing you. Okay, let's get into our solids. It too has 12 sheets, and I'm going to show you they're going to match perfectly. So we're going to start with the darker purple, and on the back side is a lighter. We have this green. We've got a couple of greens in this package, and on the back side a very lime green. We have this orange, and on the back side is kind of a peach. We have blue with a light blue on the back side. We have kind of this maroon brown and a pink on the back. This is the second green, and white, because you just might want to do white orchids. Now on this you are also going to get 2 each, so you're going to have 12 sheets, but you're going to have 12 colors too, so that works out nicely. Now let me show you the 6 by 6. I'm not going to go through the papers because it's exactly the same as the 12 by 12, but you will get 4 sheets of each pattern, and you will get, are you ready, 104 cutouts. Yes, so that's going to work. And on this package too, you're going to get an idea. Of course you do. It's from hot off the press. Now we're going to go into the die cuts, And the die cuts give you 2 different sheets, a total of 31 die cuts, just like it says right there. And this is what the 2 sheets look like. Whoops, I lost one. And that's because they will pop out easily. They won't all just fall out like that, but this one has been kind of pushed around a little bit. Again, you can see they all have the matching artwork. Some of them just have the artwork. Most of them have the greetings. Again, you can layer them, you can mix them and match them quite nicely. So those are the 2, and as always, there are 2 cards on the ideas on the back of the package. So that works nicely. Now, knowing these are part of the collection, let me show you the chipboard. And the chipboard has 8 pieces. And as you know by now, I think, the chipboard has all of these images etched into it. Now, what that means is that it's going to give you more detail than just an outline shape. This works perfectly, especially for orchids, because they do layer. So here we have in the chipboard, this is the idea that's on the package. By having those lines, you can easily color over them. It just works effortlessly, so that's great. And you see it's got, these are groupings of orchids with ferns, that one, some single ones, and a double one too. So that works quite nicely, and there is that card. Now the final thing we have, and not the least important by any stretch of the imagination, is the cutting dies. And there are 11 in this package. And again, you can see the orchids. There are 3 of them with some layering ability, also some ferns and some leaves. And just let me show you, this is the idea that's on the back of the package. And just like the fact that in our chipboard we have extra detail, in our cutting dies we do too, and we're going to get in super close to see this. So we call them thin cuts, and as I hold this, I think you'll be able to see, you see all those lines? Well, those are actually cut into the cardstock when you run it through your machine. For orchids, they do layer. So here is the next layer. You can see those lines. I'm going to put that down, and that's going to go over the matching art. So I'm going to flip this over. And I can see that centerpiece right there, so I want to match this just like so. And then this piece is in the center, like that. And that's how you make an orchid, my friends, just that easily. And here is a finished one. And again, with those lines, you're just going to get more detail. It's going to look more polished and prettier, I think. And you can see how those ferns and all. And I think on every single project, Debbie has used the cutting dies, and just works so nicely. Okay, now we are going to get into the projects, and we'll start with the very first one. Now, on all of these projects, Debbie has used the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock, and I'll show you the sheets. But can you see that flash of shine? Well, she's added something to it. So let me show you what that is. That is the Purple Rain mirror cardstock, and it's just really pretty. And let me show you the sheets that she used to create this. This is the simplest card that Debbie has made. No, stay close, please. Okay. And so we're going to go from the easiest one to ones were just a little bit more elaborate. So we're going to start here, and she used this sheet. This is one of ones that I just showed you. And you can see that right here is where she chose to take her paper. So you can go to the corner, you can go to the edge, you can go wherever you want. Lots of orchids to use. Now this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. So she cut her cardstock down smaller, a little bit smaller than her card, and then she matted it on the Purple Rain. Do you want to see that flash again? Yes, I bet you do. Really, really pretty. Now, on this, that is one of the cutouts, that 100 and some cutouts. Hearts never grow old, really sweet message. And she matted it on the pink solid cardstock, and then again on the Purple Rain. So that's right here. She foam taped that. And just before she foam taped it, she used the light pink ribbon set, And I like how she, oh, I'm sorry, that has pulled off. Okay, stay, little bow. She wrapped around there and then did a bow as a separate piece, as you just kind of saw. And then she used the green cardstock. And as I said, you've got several greens in this collection with the light green on back of the dark green, and place them, just kind of tuck them under this piece. And she did edge them and use the khaki ink pad. In fact, she's used that on, I think, most of the projects. So I'm just going to hold that close. Now going to the inside of the card, she's done several things here. She did start with covering the inside with the purple rain. You can really see that, can't you? And then she used the back side of, here I go. I'm going to go back to that purple. Here is the back of this, has this very sponged look. So that is the base part. And then she used a large cutout, and this is the one. And doesn't that make an interesting frame? Just even though that's an oval and this is a rectangle, it works nicely. So she took that, matted it on the green, that green, and then the purple rain, and placed that. And then she took the cutout. There's no friend like you, so she's used both of these, and matted it on the, she just cut it out and then matted it on the purple rain and glued that in, and that takes care of it. So with everything coordinating perfectly, you don't have to go other places to find things. Well, you can find the purple rain if you like, but that is our first card. Okay, now we're going to go to a Slimline card, and it's this one. And this is using a couple more things, so I want to share that with you. So the first thing is, of course, the Slimline. And they are 3.5 by 8, and they come in a package with 10 cards, 10 envelopes, so that works nicely. Now let me show you what she used for the papers. And there's kind of a trick, a little trick in here. So let me show you. So the front of this is this. It is the back of this paper, okay? But when you're doing this, it's kind of nice to know that you will want to cut the front out from the top of the paper, okay? Because we're going to use the bottom of it in the inside of the card. So just a tip from me to you. So you're going to cover this card. Actually, she just trimmed it just slightly smaller than the card, trimmed the paper slightly smaller, glued it to the front. Then she took this border, so this is the green border, and she glued it to this purple. Now you saw that earlier, so she glued it there and then tore the one edge. And I thought that was really interesting. She did do some inking of it, and she used the Orchid ink pad and along that torn edge. So when she tore it, she made sure that she could see the white on the inside of the paper, and that way she could ink it very effectively. Now she did glue that toward the fold, and she did add these purple self-adhesive stickers. Yes, a purple mauve. Okay, well that'll work. And she's just placed them right along. Now, have an amazing day. That is also in the back of the book with the cutouts, as you can see. And as I said before, she is going to use the cutting die with the green cardstock, because it's got the light green and the dark green, both sides, and use the cutting die, and then she's going to do a little bit with the khaki, okay? Now, this is out of the chipboard, and Debbie told me that what she did, and I'm just going to do a quick little demo for you, just in case you have not, you're not familiar with the water brush. You can also just use a paintbrush. So what she did, okay, let me show you. There's the chipboard. So see, this is one piece. And she told me that when she went to color this, she did use the khaki to do the leaves, but to do this, she wanted to get different colors of purple. So one thing that she did is she took the Orchid, pressed it onto the craft mat, and then put a little bit of water from the water brush. Now you could just use a regular brush, so you know you don't have to have this, but it's just really convenient, as you can tell. And she just used, let's see, she was using this grouping, and she just made it darker or lighter in the center by coloring it and controlling it with the water brush. So as you can see, you can just get in there. If you want to make that really light, you can do so. So maybe a different area. You want super light. And hopefully you can see that, because that's really, really light. But you can play with that and notice how the chipboard is just absorbing that color. So that's exactly what she did as she played with this. And I'm going to get this out of my way. And so she colored it first and then glued it to her card front and added more of those crystals. Okay, for the inside, now here's why I wanted to tell you about being sure to use the top part, because here you can see that she has used the bottom part, so just as far over as it's going to go. And you also get this little gold piece, but she did cover that up. So we have this. It is slightly smaller than our card, which is fine. And then she took 2 of the die cuts, and let me pull them out for you. The Love You Forever, that has been glued there. And then the border, which is this one. Now it has rounded corners. You don't have to go clear to the end. You can just chop it off to fit whatever you want. That's right here. And you can see there's another piece of the chipboard, and there are more of the cutting die with more of the ferns, because orchids will have, you know, being tropical being tropical flowers, they will have lots of foliage with them. So that's going to work out nicely. Okay, that is our second card. Now we're going to get a little more detailed, and let me share with you our next card. Here we go. Okay, now don't be scared, because this is using a set of die cut cards, and this is called a label triple easel. Okay. Thankful for You. This is paper and some chipboard and a die cut. And you stand that up because it's an easel. Okay. Then this is the next one, You Warm My Heart. And here is the third one, Happy Birthday. And you can see they are all going to stand up just like that. Now, what's really nice about this is that it all comes in one package. So the package is this, the label triple easel. So you see the 3 easels, and it's insert in the package, and there are directions and there are patterns for you. So it'll just be really easy to put together. And just to show you a little bit, so this piece is the front right here, okay? And that's going to sit on this piece, which is going to be folded and going to fit right here. Now, let me just show you one thing, is that all of these layers are going to meet at the bottom. So there's the smallest, then there is a middle one, and that's going to look like this. It's going to sit there. There is a large one. Whoops, I think that was the large one. Okay. Oh well, there is a middle one. I must have misplaced it. Okay, but there are the 3 sizes, as you can see by these labels that are going to go on them, and they just all fit together easily. Plus you have the envelope, so that works nicely. So let me show you what she did and what she used. And you can see that as I went through that, all 3 were different colors. So you're just going to take your white die cut, and you're going to cut your paper slightly smaller to fit on it, okay? So the first one is the blue. So let me show you that. And it is right here. And this is what she did. See my Post-it so I could remember what she used? So she cut it into 3 pieces, because you kind of don't want the paper to go over the folds. So you just cut it to fit and glue it down. And that's going to work nicely. For the front of this, she used, okay, she's going to use this sheet. And so this is the largest because there are 3 layers. I wanted to be sure to get it smoothly for you, so I put my Post-its. And you can see that, see the white orchids? They're right there. So you're going to turn it on its side. And you're going to take that large label and position it, and then just glue it. Whoops, I forgot a step. We're going to first put it on the solid cardstock. Okay, same thing. Just glue this to here and then just trim it out. Then what Debbie did is she used the piece that has the blue on it, and then traced it over here, and then she cut it out slightly smaller. So you can see it is a mat, and then she's cut it just smaller. So she didn't have to do too much other than just glue it down and trace it. Are you going to get closer, Jeanette?
Yeah,
that would be good. Okay. Okay. So you can see the blue, and then she simply traced that shape onto her pattern, and then cut it slightly smaller. So that way she would get a perfect fit. And I thought that was quite brilliant. So you've got those. The Thankful for You is a die cut, and you can see the chipboard right there. Okay, that's our first layer. We've got the blue on the back side, the blue on the front. Okay, now let's go to the pink. And with that, she has used that darker maroon solid cardstock. And then this is right here. So here is the medium top, and I know that because I can see the ferns coming out. I see this piece right there, and she did the same thing. So she first covered it with the solid, then traced that over here, cut it slightly smaller and glued it. The You Warm My Heart, that's one of the cutouts in the 12 by 12. And you can see that she's die cut out more of the ferns and the leaves. Now on this side, she used, notice my note, this area of the same paper. And you can see it is going up here, you can see that, and each of the sections. There are 3 sections, and so she has cut them and glued them in place. So that is our second layer, which is pink. Now, for our last layer, which is green, she has used, for the front of it, she has used the green, obviously cardstock. And then I thought it was really smart that she used this area. So this is one of the cutouts. So she used this area. Now you get 2 of each sheet, so that, that kind of helps. And for the back of this, she used the back of that sheet, and it's just 2 pieces. The Lots of Love is also a die cut. This is a die cut, it's foam taped, and there are risers in that package. The risers are just pieces of cardstock, but they have to go on foam tape. Sometimes 2 layers will really work nicely to hold that easel up, but this time you have 3 easels. And what I love about this card is that it just kind of reveals itself, okay? So let me take you through it again. So I get my card, I open it up, and I go, Thankful for You. Isn't that sweet? And then I go, well, look at this. And then I have You Warm My Heart. Oh. And then you have Happy Birthday, and you think, Debbie, I love you too. Okay, so this is just really fun, and it's going to be seated like this at your desk, at the kitchen, wherever you are, and you're going to look at that and just feel really good all day long. Okay, so that's what you get, and you do get 3 of them in that package. So that is our third card. And our last card is this one, and look at this. Okay. You are always in my heart, and I'm going to pull this bow, and when I do so, not only does it expose what's in the middle, it gives me a second thing right there. And obviously this has been made with the help of a cutting die, and that is called a slider pop-up. And you see it has these pieces, And you're simply going to follow the directions, and they are very handy right here with the package and all of the dies inside. So you've got a place to really hold them, keep them together with the instructions, and it's really not bad to put together. So I just want to show you that you will need a card, and this is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card. And then you will have this pop-up mechanism, this kind of envelope on the front. It's just one piece, and it will give you that opening. And then it gives you the pull tab, which is this one. And then it also gives you this label that's going to go on the front. Now it can go sideways or it can go the lengthwise, just like that. Now, Debbie, of course, has added multiple things to this, so let me just walk you through that. So here we go. And in this particular one, the first thing that she did was to cover her card with the green. So this is the green that we've been talking about, has the light green on the back side. So she simply did that. Now, this next layer I thought was really smart, because what you get when you use this area, and this is the green sheet, is that you get this treatment at the top. So you get a little bit more going on rather than just a small pattern. So that's what she did right here, a little bit smaller. Then for cutting out that first piece, die cutting that piece, she has used this, which is on the back side of our large cutouts. So that's what she's used to die cut that. You attach it with extra sticky tape because you know, that's going to keep it nice and solid. And then for the pull tag, let me show you. So she has used this, and that is right here. Actually, before I go there, let me just finish the front of it, okay? So she has used this for that label, and she did place it vertically rather than horizontally. And she did put a die cut on it, and then you can see the die cut ferns and then also the die cut orchid. And this is the pink jewel dazzles, excuse me, pink jewel border dazzles, there you go, that are embellishing the sides. Okay, now for the inside, let me just show you as I pull this up. Sending lots of love just for you. Well, that of course is going to be on our cutout sheet. And behind that, she has used this texture, so that works. Now for this part, here we are. She has used, okay, this is the green. So it is this cutout right here. And she simply put the die on it and let it cut out. The Thinking of You is also, as you can see right behind it, is one of the cutouts. And then the bow, well, the bow is going to come from the magenta and dark pink ribbon set. It's just been threaded through, and then she did tie a bow and sewed it on top. So that is the front of our card. How fun. And then on the inside, I'm not done. On the inside, that's that same sheet that she used on the front that is going to give you that pretty treatment at the top. So she used part of it there, and part of it, turn it, and you can use it right there. And then she also took another of the cutouts, and here it is. It's this one. Matted it on that maroon, and this is one of the borders, as you can see, and this is one of the die cuts. So simpler on the inside, just beautifully done on the outside. So that is our fourth card. The woman was busy, and I thought it was fun to see from simple things that were just lovely onto more involved things that would take a little bit more time but would leave quite a lasting impression on your recipient. Okay, so that's what we have. And to recap, we have Orchid Melody. That is this month's release. We have it in the 12 by 12. We have it in the matching solid. We have it, of course, in the 6 by 6. And we also have the die cuts, which you've seen used, the cutting dies, and the chipboard. Absolutely lots of ideas, and a great way to see lots of different colors and to really expand the idea of orchids in a way that they're not so three-dimensional that they're going to be hard to mail. They're going to be flatter, but you get the look of the detail of those orchids. Okay, we also have a couple, oh, I do have a money saver, of course I do, on the right-hand side of your screen for all of these. Also have a couple of other things for you. Number one, next month you will be able to get this. You can get it on the home page, or if you get our emails, we will send you a link, and you can just download it and print it as often as you want. If you are hearing a noise in the background, it is raining like crazy here, and you may be hearing a bit of that. So just in case, that's what it is, no problem. Anyway, the cutouts are yours to keep and to use, and they will match the papers, of course. There's also, if you are a VIP, you will receive this, and you will have already received 2 each of the 6x6 Orchid Melody, and that's what you get for being a VIP. And if you're not one, be sure to sign up at checkout, because we'll start tabulating your orders, and when they reach $500 over 12 months, you will become a VIP, and you will get these free with your order whenever you put in that code that we will send you. Okay. Now, we also have subscriptions. If you would love to get a collection a month, and that's all of the pieces that I've shown you, you want to sign up for I Really Want It All. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, because you're going to save 20%. Let's see, 20, does that help? 20%. And you will get these before the webisode, and because there are ideas on them, you will be ready to jumpstart and make some beautiful things. Now, if you would like everything, but maybe not the cutting die, well, we have a deal for you too. It's called I Want It All, as opposed to I Really Want It All. I Want It All has all of the other items without the cutting dies. Too, you will save 20% off, and you will get them before the webisode. So those are 2 things we have for you, and they are also on the right-hand side of your screen. Okay, if you are watching this on YouTube, we would love it if you would head on over to paperwishes.com, because that's the only place that you will be able to purchase these. And we don't want to run out before you have a chance to take a look and to see if this will suit your needs. Orchids are beautiful, and they just fit in so many ways. It's not just tropical, and no, you don't have to go to Hawaii to be using orchids. Okay, I do want to thank Debbie. She has just done such a beautiful job, as she always does. I do want to thank you especially for being with us and for being part of our Paper Wishes family. Okay, we'll see you again. Actually, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.